You know, like, and now, is there a specific kind of person that comes out and sees you guys? Do you guys have like the diehard that sees all your shows so far? Have you guys seen familiar faces follow you guys around?
Other than wives, maybe. Yeah. She's not coming tonight, though.
No?
No.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Level Up Cleveland. This week, we have some of the guys in here from Allison. It's an Alice in Chains tribute band. Let me go ahead and introduce you guys, the ones that are here, and then we'll talk about the ones that didn't make it, and then we'll get into this. First of all, right here, sitting next to me here in the pilot seat is Mike JB, and he plays guitar. And Jerry Cantrell, Sparp.
I'm Jerry.
And on bass next to him, we have Ray Boyd.
Yes.
Not here with us today is singer Kevin Harper and drummer Scott Manos. Maybe we'll get him in here another time when we'll have you guys back on. See how long you guys, like 10 years from now, maybe you guys will still be out there doing the Alice in Chains thing.
Yeah,
I hope so.
How do you guys get into this? How do you guys pick Alice in Chains, and how do you guys why Alice in Chains? Is that your favorite band? I mean, is that
No.
okay?
They're not my favorite
It's
band.
usually not.
I love them, but they're not my favorite band.
So what made you pick Alice in Chains? How do you get into this?
Man, I've been playing this stuff since 1990. So when I graduated high school, I love his playing. He's very melodic. Really, what caught me to this band was the vocal harmonies. That's the selling point for me. Okay. I just love the crazy harmonies that they come up with.
Of Alice in Chains you're talking about?
Of Alice in Chains themselves. To me, vocally, they're brilliant.
So that's what brought you in, and so you're doing the backup vocals?
Yeah.
So you're harmonizing with them.
Kevin, yeah.
Now, is that something that was coming? Is that natural? Or did you guys have to work at that?
No, we've had to work at it a little bit. He's got a friend of ours that just played with us. We just did the 1996 MTV Unplugged, and we played it for a benefit. So Kevin's buddy came in, Joel, and we were doing three-part harmonies. So Joel's been a huge help for Kevin and I. I mean, I've been singing this stuff, but if you would say, is singing come natural to me? No, it does not.
You're more of a guitar player.
I'm more of a guitar player.
That's what's natural to you. Now, did it take you some time to separate the brain there, and while you're playing guitars, was that the first thing that you had to overcome?
Yeah. Oh, it's huge. I just have so much admiration for a bunch of the people that we go and see that can sing and play at the same time. It is extremely difficult to do, in my opinion. So it's almost like playing piano where you got to learn independence. And when I'm breaking a song down, basically I got to figure out how to play that part and then sing to that part. And in my brain, I'm like, okay, I got to do these two things at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Some songs are easy if you're just playing not random chords, but if you're just, playing the same patterns over and over again, that's kind of simple. But if you're adding fills, that's when it gets really difficult. So we got a lot of friends that can do that particular thing, and they're so good at it, but they've probably been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing when you see somebody do something extremely intricate on a guitar, and the whole time they're doing something completely different with their vocals, completely different timings and everything, and they don't miss anything.
Yeah,
it's like two different brains working at the same time. I always find that fascinating. Also, now Kevin, he's the singer, and he sounds just like him, man. I mean, like you guys can really pull off the Alice in Chains thing. I have not seen you live, but when I was doing my research, I was definitely there's enough stuff out there to find out what you guys are about and stuff. And he definitely, anytime there's a tribute band, the singer has to be right. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Everybody can sound just like Alice. And Alice in Chains You know, they're one of them bands that does have an identifiable band sound.
Yeah.
Like they're one of them few bands that you, before he ever sings, you can almost tell, oh, this is an Alice in Chains too.
Yeah.
They're tuned down, they're heavier, they're just, everything about them was just a little heavier.
Yeah,
right?
to me, they were more of a rock band than they were a grunge band. Out of all of them,
Totally.
they're definitely more rock.
More standard, more of a standard hard rock band.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. With the grunge flair, obviously with the content that they're singing. Yeah, Cantrell
had a big part of that.
He's the mastermind really behind the band, but everybody really, I think, in my opinion, focuses on Lane's vocal abilities because they were out of this world.
Right. He had like that thing going. You know, Cantrell also was playing solos still in a lot of them songs and stuff where, you know, the grunge scene kind of just threw the solo kind of out of the song. Alice in Chains, a lot of their songs still had the guitar solo in them, and you know, I think you know, a lot of people, at least in my age bracket, and I think they were a lot of people's favorite from that group of bands that came out. Unfortunately, of that group of bands that came out, there's only like one lead singer still alive, and that's Vedder.
Yeah,
the rest of them are dead. Like, you know, I was just thinking about that yesterday when I was researching you guys. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, one thing they could never do is like a '90s revival show.
No,
they can't. Right? They can. You know, everyone talks about the grunge scene and everything, but
we've talked about that.
Yeah.
You know, like, wow, of all these Seattle bands that come out back in the '90s, '89, Alice in Chains, whatever. But Vedder's the only one
he's it.
Yeah, the Screaming Trees guy just died, I think, last year or the year before.
Yeah, I mean, like, everybody's gone. I mean, like, that's a crazy thing when you really think about that, like, that specific group of bands all the same time, you know, and mostly it was drug related. Most of them were drug related. You know what I mean? It's
unfortunately, but
crazy time. And I hate to, you know, my personal opinion, I think Eddie Vedder was my least favorite of all.
Okay. Mine was always Kurt Cobain, but.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the most different of them bands. Like they were they were the grungiest.
Yes, and I had a lot of punk elements to them.
Yeah. What do you guys feel about punk? Now, like that is one thing that Alice in Chains was least punky also of all them bands.
Yeah. What do I think about punk?
Well, does that help you? Is that one reason why maybe you went with the Alice in Chains thing?
Yeah, I'm a 80s metal guy.
Oh,
so
really?
I don't look like it, but that's all the stuff.
Favorite band from that time?
Van Halen's my favorite band of all time.
Okay.
But I'm a huge Rat, Dokken.
So you're Eddie guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Eddie's the god.
Yeah.
In my opinion, so he's the reason why I play.
So why? So here's what I'm just curious. Is it just because of the convenience of knowing these guys and being in this band? It's good. It's fun that you're not in like a Van Halen tribute band or something like that. Like what is it? Is it just because this is where you're at right now, or like why?
That's a good question.
You know, like well, because I guess if you're, you know, like I mean, when you're doing tribute band, one thing that people may not understand is the amount of effort and practice and things that have to go into doing this. Like you cannot call yourself a tribute band unless you almost do these things. Like you want to be able to say, I went and saw them.
Yeah,
I went and saw Alice in Chains. That's pretty much what you're trying to do. That takes an incredible amount of focus and practice
and effort. Yes, you know, especially when it comes to singing, because you want to get some of the lane. We talk about getting the Laneisms out there.
Yeah,
a little bit. You know, you might not sound exactly like Lane, but if you get some of the Laneisms in there,
exactly.
You know that
the little things that he did that made him him.
Yes.
Yeah, it was such a unique voice. It's very difficult for a lot of lead singers. Man in the Box seems like that's the number one.
It's the hardest song.
It's like the hardest song for,
be honest,
for guys.
Even Lane had problems
doing it off live. Yeah.
When I was singing, for me, because every band wants to play that song because every band can play it.
Right.
And then the vocal, man.
Yeah. When you get to that upper part,
yeah, it's hard to do. Really hard.
I think to me his best song is Love Hate Love, but it's 8 minutes long and it's.
Now you guys, can you play anything? Could you play any of their songs now? Would you say that there's like at any time if anyone came to your shows, I play the song, you guys like, well, you know, we can play anything.
You know, probably. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I would say yes.
I'd say 85 to 90%. Yeah, we could play.
Is there any reason why it's not 100? I mean, is it just?
It's because you know why? because we haven't
time.
Yeah.
So you guys only been together. So let's talk about that. How long have you guys actually been together? Well, so let's talk about that first. Let's get into that.
2019, basically.
So 4 years, but right at the right when hell broke loose.
Yeah, when the
right
pandemic hit.
yeah, because we were doing a Godsmack thing, and it kind of warped into an Alice in Chains tribute. Only I was all for it, because I was at Chains back in '89, with was it Facelift?
Yeah, the album Facelift.
Yeah. So it was just, I love the grittiness of it, and we're like, well, why not? Let's do Alice in Chains, and that's
how it all started.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it. I worked in Canton at a restaurant, and I had a couple friends that loved the band too. So we would just do open jam nights, and I learned way back then. It was like 90. Yeah, it was like right around when they came out with the MTV Unplugged. We learned that whole entire thing, and went out and played it. So in college, I would play a bunch of this stuff acoustically around the house and stuff like that. So
yeah,
but going back to why I play this kind of music, to me, it's the vocals. Even though I'm a big 80s guy, that's definitely my favorite decade. And then I would say 70s and then 90s. But I've been playing it for so long.
So before that, you guys got into this band, though, were you in other bands also?
I was in Bad Juju for a
Bad
year
Juju.
7 months, yeah.
A year and 7 months or 7 months?
A year and 7 months,
Really?
yeah.
Really? Now, how was that?
That was awesome.
Did you learn a lot? Did you learn a lot from that time?
Yeah, I did. I learned get ready to play a lot of gigs. Oh my gosh. My wife told me if I would have stayed in the band, she would have divorced me. So. I said I'm only going to get married once. So, but yeah, my last year we played, I think 57 shows.
Oh yeah.
And then the first year I probably played, I would say maybe 37 to 40 shows with them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've done a couple fill-ins like we were saying before we got on. But yeah, I mean, they blown up. So
yeah,
now they did 2 years where they did over 100 shows 2 years in a row.
Yeah, we see them. These guys release their schedules. Some of these bands and like Old School and who's some of the other ones, like Grunge DNA's out there, and some of them who play like I mean, it's incredible.
Thursday,
I don't even know. Yeah,
Saturday,
I don't even know how.
Sunday.
And you see like Joey D. He posted his schedule. It was like every day. Yeah. It was like literally like every day, and then you'd have one day off, and then like da.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
I'm just saying that's if you're gonna make a living doing music, that's what you have to do.
I have carpal tunnel really bad in my left hand. So,
really?
Yeah, I've been suffering.
And you're a right-handed guitar player?
Yeah. So well, I'm left-hand dominant too. So.
Oh.
But, yeah.
But that makes it tough.
Yeah, I wake up a lot with dead hand.
So no feeling, no.
Yeah, I get it,
numbness.
especially in my first 3 fingers. So.
Dude, that's kind of an unbelievable thing to have and be a guitar player.
Right. Yeah. It's sometimes I got to take breaks, but I don't like to take breaks. But
no kidding.
Yeah, I probably should get surgery.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they do have the it's not always the best surgery either.
Right.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive though.
I got a guy that works with me that is a drummer and had it on both hands, and he said it's changed his life. So I don't know. We'll see. Mm-hmm. If I take a couple day break, and stretch out, I tend to do a lot better. But if I'm playing constantly, for the next couple nights, it's just.
Well, you say you fill in for Bad Juju.
Yeah.
Who fills in for you?
Nobody. I've never had anybody fill in for me ever.
Never.
I don't think so.
Not yet.
No, that's
cool. That's
happen.
cool, man. That's good though. That's perseverance, dude. Getting through it, because I know about that carpal tunnel. I don't have it, but I know a lot of people do, and you just lose the feeling in your hands.
Yeah. I've had my tendons literally like pop as I'm playing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty brutal. It feels like somebody's stabbing you.
At the end of the day, though, you cannot replace Lane or Jerry.
Oh, no.
It's not going to happen.
No, you can't.
Well, I'm not Jerry, but I'm playing Jerry's part.
For a couple hours a night, you are.
Yeah. I don't claim to be that talented.
Not that easily replaced.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Alice in Chains when Lane was in the band?
Yes, I saw them at Blossom during the 91 tour with Van Halen. So
there you go. The best of both worlds.
It was
best.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it was the perfect marriage.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's when I saw
I did see him at Lollapalooza at
okay.
Columbus Lake. Is that what it was called? and Buckeye Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Buckeye
I go to
Lake.
Buckeye Lake a
In
lot.
Columbus there. I saw him at Lollapalooza. I actually went to see Alice in Chains. I didn't go to see Alice in Chains. I went to the concert where it was the first time they were ever here, and no one even heard of them yet. But it was the one with Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Alice in Chains at the Coliseum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was wild. They opened up.
The only band that was missing was Metallica, and you would have had all
the big four.
Big four. Yeah.
Yeah, it was some kind of show. It was great. They cleared the seats out at the Coliseum for Slayer. Slayer headlined, and they cleared the whole place out. It was the biggest mosh pit that I've ever seen.
Oh no, man! You ever been to a Slayer Pantera now?
Oh, yeah, I've seen Pantera lots of times.
Both of them together.
No, I didn't together.
Oh boy,
yeah, that'd be great.
It would have been.
I saw Monsters of Rock at the Rose Bowl, and it was like 100 and
the Rose Bowl
15
in California.
Yeah, I flew out there and.
You went there just to do it?
Well, I went to a camp, and then a guy that went to my high school that left after sophomore year, I went and stayed with his family for a week, and then I was at a camp for a week, and then he was like, "Do you want to go to Monsters of Rock?" I was like, "Yeah." First show, that was my first concert down in Akron. I saw him at the Rubber Bowl.
I saw
and
that.
And then we flew out. I flew out.
Hottest concert in
yeah, I was up in the front, and we got sprayed by.
Yeah, they had the hoses out.
They had the hoses out.
It was ridiculous.
That was, to me, that was a guitar player's dream.
Yeah,
because you had
Dokken,
you had Dokken, and you had Eddie, and you had the Scorpions. So.
Yeah, you had. There was a lot. That was Kingdom Come.
Kingdom
that was
Come,
They
were pretty awesome. I like them.
Dokken and Metallica was coming out with Justice. That was in between Master and Justice, and they were playing some of the new stuff. I think they played like Harvester of Sorrow or something.
And they played Blackened too. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Those are good times, man. Those are good times. That's 87, 88, somewhere back then.
Yeah, it was. 87. Yeah, 87. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys now, do you guys do the thing where you'll play like entire albums? Like you said, you did the MTV Unplugged. Will you guys come out and just do a whole album side or not album side? That doesn't even exist anymore. But like where you play like a whole album, do you guys do that ever? Have you guys done that yet?
No, it's just a mix of a little bit of everything.
So yeah, you guys come out with a set list of Alice in Chains stuff.
Yeah, for the most part, it's Facelift and Dirt, and then we do a little bit of the. Well, I call it the Tripod album.
Yeah,
it's the with the three-legged dog.
Oh yeah.
And so now we're
Tripod.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what his nickname was. So with the fluorescent green cover, but and we do a little bit off of Sap and Jar of Flies. So, but for the most part, it's Dirt and Facelift.
So, are you guys learning new songs? Like, do you guys go? Like, do you guys rehearse often, or how's that part go?
Ray, you want to hit that one?
I
mean, don't you guys have to constantly rehearse to kind of No, you don't?
Because, at the end of the day, you know what you need to do.
Yeah.
Mike knows what he needs to do. I know what I need to do to be successful in life. So we're all held accountable and responsible for yourself. And if we do rehearse, we're rehearsing a song that we've only played a couple times or once, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Right.
Other than that, you do. There's homework and then there's rehearsal.
Yeah.
Do your homework. Don't come to rehearsal and not doing it.
Right, I agree. No, I agree. This is and for people that don't know, this is a common conversation with bands, right? I mean, like doing the homework, right? Some guys show up and they're not ready.
Yeah.
And it fucks the practice all up.
And I've been fortunate to be with a lot of talented musicians here in Cleveland, and that was established very early.
Yeah, and I learned that from these guys too.
Because I have a zero tolerance to you not doing your homework.
Wow.
And if I screw up, I expect my brothers to call me out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a pretty big guy, though. I mean, I'd be honest with you. I'd be a little scared. I'd be like, I'm not fucking.
He was a wrestler.
Yes.
No, but I hear what you're saying. You're 100% right, man. Some bands will just practice, and that's how they do it. But there's a lot of bands out there that you do your homework and you show up to just to polish everything up and then done.
Yeah, it saves so much time.
It does.
Yeah, and aggravation.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, these professional musicians, do you think they're sitting there having rehearsal before they go out on the road?
Yeah.
No. they might have one or two, and they're out on the road.
Yeah, right.
Because they do their homework at their home.
Yeah, they do it at home.
You know, it's like, okay, they're scheduling to do a big tour. They're getting stuff ready for that.
Now, do you guys had to, like, when you're doing your rehearsals and you're doing your homework, let's say, does YouTube come into play a lot for homework? Because it's important to get it right, isn't it? Is it
Yes.
not? Is it not important to get it right?
Now we're going back to we're talking 80s, early 80s, remember that tape deck thing, and you sit there on MMS, wait for that song to come out, record, and you record that one song, and then you sit there and listen to it, try it out, rewind. Now, how many times have you rewind that tape trying to learn a certain part of a song? Now today, it's great. You have so much.
We have visual. See, that's the thing. That's the thing that you actually can see the guy hitting the fret.
Right.
And you're like, that's the right one.
And you can slow it down to 50% too.
Yeah, and
it does help
a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a tribute band who, like I said, you got to get it right. Like, you got to get it right. Like, you guys are even talking about the Lane-isms. Like, if you can't sound exact, and nobody, even the guy, you guys probably know his name. I don't know the guy that replaced Lane.
Oh, that's
William DuVall.
Yeah. William DuVall, yeah.
He doesn't even sound exactly like him. I mean, there's times where he sounds like himself and it doesn't sound the same anymore, but he does those Lane-isms too, and he has that kind of thing that makes you. But to me, Cantrell's guitar sound, that's what makes them sound like them. Like,
don't put any pressure on me.
I'm just telling you. I think his sound, like the sound that he's had that just seemed a little heavier than everybody else sound that he had.
A little gritty in a weird way.
Yeah. It was just a little heavier. It was like always just a little. It just, to me, that defined them.
And that's what attracted me to the band, because I'm like, wow, these are like a rock with a look, like this weird grid to it, And
it's a modified Bogner is what he was using.
Oh,
it's a German amp.
Now, let's talk about that. Did you ever find that you have to mimic some of the equipment or find something to try to get to that place?
He did. I didn't really do that. I just, whatever is comfortable for me is kind of what I've gone. And I've changed equipment over time, but, I mean, he can talk about his basses.
Yeah. No, I mimic after Mike Inez, originally Mike Starr, the original bass player, but I mimic Inez. I love his tone. His sound is just amazing. And
so did you have to go? Did you buy specific anything? Or?
Well, I do run through Ampeg.
Oh,
of course I'm using 610s or whatever Ampeg. I like Ibanez guitars.
Yeah,
they're fast. I like how they feel, and but I took out all electronics and I put in Fluence pickups, Inez Fluence pickups, and it sounds
exactly like it to me.
Exactly, Mike
Yeah,
Inez.
Oh, so that's what
Especially
the
like the
trick was
beginning
in the
of Wood.
pickups.
Yes.
Yeah, the
And
trick
the-
was
and
in
the
the
Ampeg.
pickups.
So when you hear wood, when you hear me playing wood,
Yeah, that's the one I
sounds
noticed the most.
exactly like wood.
Yeah, that's all bass in the beginning. So you got, and that's another thing. If you're going to do that tune, you're going to have to sound like that. If it doesn't sound right, then immediately the song's off. So
Yeah. So I've definitely, because Inez uses Warwick is his, but I like my Ibanez.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate to be able to get his sound in a pickup and
still have.
gut it out and put the new stuff in.
And Ray was just telling us a little story on the break here about something that happened on his ride in. Tell him what happened.
Well, yeah, just before we started this podcast, the singer Kevin, he messaged like, "Hey, some guy, he was at Blossom, and the guy was talking about our band, Allison, and he kind of chuckles and says, little did he know, they were standing right next to him.
Oh, so he was at the concert and they were talking about the band?
They were talking
to
about
him?
the band.
Positively?
No, to their friends.
Oh, they were talking. Well, he was overhearing the conversation.
Yeah. He was the fly on the wall.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
And that just happened last night?
So a few days ago, he was at Blossom. I
Really?
was there because I did see some stuff.
Did he say it was positively, like positive?
Well, I'm sure he would have said it if
Banter?
it was
Like,
negative.
yeah,
but
I-
he wasn't going to mention it if it wasn't.
Is he somebody that would punch somebody in the head if they were talking bad about him? Like, would he just call off and clock them?
No, he'd probably be like, huh, and laugh at you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can see him laughing at him, you know.
Pretty cool guy, though. Just
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kevin's awesome.
So the guys in the band that you have right now, though, I mean, like, is this what you feel like this is a solid band right at this point? Like, these are brothers type guy,
Absolutely,
too?
100%.
Solid.
Definitely the final
Going
lineup.
to, really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I won't do it if...
No, I won't do it either.
This is it?
This is
Wow,
it, yeah.
that's great. Does everybody feel that way, kind of, you feel like?
Yeah.
Pretty solid all the way
Yeah.
through? You looked over there like you had to get, like, you were like...
No, I wasn't looking for his approval. I swear to God.
It's just...
Yeah, no, I mean, him and I are like left arm, right arm.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, we're really tight.
Which is good. Which is good since you're the guitars and bass player together. You know, like you want to be tight.
Well, I'm tight with the drummer too.
Yeah, you got to be there too.
Scott and I, Scott Munns and I.
Yeah, they've known each other for a really long time.
2006.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we started off as a cover band and went into a Tool tribute and all that fun stuff.
Oh, you did a Tool tribute also.
Yes.
Well, that's got to be. Oh, you
it's
must
great.
be one hell of a bass player, dude. Huh? I gotta come check
right.
you guys
He's
out.
just a bass player.
Just a bass
That's what he
player,
says.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Cool, man.
I go
pretty good.
I go home and read my books. You know, I'm just a bass player.
So when do you start playing the bass and all that? Tell me your story, man. Tell me, yeah. You see, I like you, man. You're an old school guy. Like you're like us, you know. You like the same kind of shit. You're from. You guys both, you know, you guys have got that old school 80s metal and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Talking Big Four with me and stuff like that.
Best decade.
You know,
So what gets you interested in music and bass and all that? I mean, bass is an interesting instrument.
it's a funny story because I always like listen to Ozzy, you know, and then I was into Slayer back, you know, but Ozzy, you know, like the Blizzard of Oz, and I loved that music, you know. I remember on the radio when I heard that Randy Rhoads passed in a plane wreck, you know, accident. You know, I was young, you know, but for some reason I liked that hard rock, you know, and I was told, that's the devil's music. Don't listen to that. Well, guess what? That made me want to do more of.
Yeah, right.
And on top of it, I'm gonna double down. Now I want to play.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. And
So, but did you start playing guitar first?
you know, my first guitar was a bass. Yes.
Really?
But then I did pick up guitar. I can do, you know, I can do, you know.
You can
rhythm.
play guitar.
I could do rhythm if I need to, but
Yeah.
I have more fun at the bass. It's very stripped down. I love it, you know, because it forces you to be a little more creative without all the extra
Strings.
strings and or effects.
Effects, yeah.
So you like the idea of not having as much to work with, but able to still do more,
It makes you
more
think.
challenging almost.
It's more challenging. Yes, it is in a way. Yes.
Yes. Well, that's an interesting way of putting it because a lot of people would say that the bass is the easier instrument.
No, it's not.
But it can be, right? Like it depends on how it's played.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you're somebody who's just going to play root notes and just kind of do that, then it can be an easy instrument. But if you're going to play the bass the right way,
Well, yeah, you're playing Tool. You know.
Yeah. Stone Temple Pilots.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's
Del
very,
Leo is
he's
amazing.
very quirky. He has a very quirky style. I respect that.
Yeah. Well, he's like a lead guitar player.
Yeah.
He's incredible. He's my second favorite bass player. My favorite's Billy Sheehan. So.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah,
he's
he's
amazing.
amazing.
He makes guitar players look stupid.
No, he's great.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he is. He's freaking incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's just out of this
So
world.
we ended up, for the Tool stuff, you know, and my job took me back to Detroit, where I originally come from. I'm originally from Detroit.
Oh, really?
You know,
When did you come here?
in the 80s.
Oh.
So
you're like a teenager, basically? Is that?
I was young. You know, I was still in grade school, believe it or not,
okay.
you know, due to the jobs and stuff like that, the market. And things happened with my job. So I ended up going back up to Detroit, and I ended up in an actual original act. And I think we did quite well, you know. Sons of Rachel.
That was the name of the band?
It's a Christian rock band.
Oh,
Yeah, so I tell you what, that was good times.
no kidding.
Really good
What's
times.
that like being in a Christian rock band now? 'Cause like what? Give me some of the differences. Like I mean, I think there's some obvious ones, but
Well, it's a different market for sure. I mean, you know, but we were out there. We were more of a rock punk. We had our own style. It was like 80s punk, grunge style. So it wasn't, you know, it was kind of in your face. It was a lot of fun. We've opened up co-headline and open up with Striper.
Oh, really?
You know.
So you went. So you were in a Christian band, and you guys got out of that.
Yeah, I got out of that, and I was able to come back to Ohio.
You say that like you wanted to come back, like you like you were looking forward to coming back to Ohio. Would that be accurate?
It's yes, in a way, yes, because all my family's up there, like my aunts, uncles, cousins, and stuff up in Detroit. But in Ohio, I also at the time had a wife.
Oh, I see.
You know,
and her family was Ohio. Is that what would that be?
Yeah, so you know, it's.
I got you.
Some things are more important.
Sometimes that is the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We say life happens.
Yeah, life happens, and.
So you came back here, and you're doing the music thing. So right away you're gonna get together with some people.
Yeah, so I got this phone call out of blue from, was it Scott, and that he said something about, hey, I'm talking to Steve guy. You know, I'm like, okay, you want to get the Godsmack tribute together? I'm like, oh, okay.
That was it, huh? You're like, I guess that's what I'm doing.
He had
now.
to twist his arm.
I'm like, okay. I mean, why not? I mean, so, and that's, a lot of fun, you know.
And so, but you had never done anything like that up until that point, like where you, a tribute. Like, was that your first time ever trying to do like a tribute type thing?
No, because it was the Tool tribute before I left for Detroit.
Oh, that's right. So you'd already done it. So you already knew what went into
before
doing
I did covers, the tributes, prior to all that.
And if you'd already done a Tool tribute, then Godsmack was going to be very tough.
It was fun.
Yeah, right. You'd be all right. You're going to do
that.
Yeah.
The drums.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
In my opinion.
And definitely helped me grow as a bass player. Even Scott, he grew from learning some of the Tool stuff, the beats and.
Well, yeah, he's one of the best drummers in the world, for sure.
For sure, yes. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's cool. So then you and then eventually the Godsmack thing turns into that. Is that kind of what happens?
It's kind of what happened because we kind of like, I don't know, Mikey come over. And
just stop by and listen to rehearsal and see what's going on.
Yeah, and then we wanted to offshoot, like off of that, we tried a 2 guitar player thing, and I don't think it was really meshing, but I knew Mike liked Alice in Chains. So, and my buddy, he likes Godsmack, and it was kind of like, okay, we'll do the Godsmack thing and do the Alice in Chains. Godsmack never really took off at that point.
Yeah, so that's it. You were doing 2 and one did better than the other.
Yeah,
period.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just a matter of. I mean, I don't think it would have been any problem getting gigs. It's just the initiative to do it, make it happen.
Godsmack's a weird band. That's why they've always been kind of like hanging in somewhere. They never were here, but they were definitely never down here. No. But they always kind of like teetered with up here. But they were never that one band, like one of them bands that ever seemed to take it all the way to the top.
Yeah, they hit it big back in '95.
Yeah, they had a little window. Yeah, but Alice in Chains, man, they were all over for a while.
I'm surprised they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet.
Well,
that just baffles me.
There's a lot.
Same
more.
with Iron Maiden and geez.
There's a lot more goes into getting into that than just what you did.
I mean, think about it, Lane's career was short.
Yeah.
You look at the aspect of how long Lane was really doing concerts or out on the road and making his voice be known to the world is very short amount of time.
Yeah. Relatively. Speaking with some of the other bands out there that are as big as them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they left such a big impact in that short amount of time with Lane.
Yeah.
Duvall come on. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't on board with it, but if you actually sit down and listen to Duvall singing with Alice in Chains, it's very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his own style.
His own style.
Different types of harmony.
I respect that. I think he fits in great.
Yeah, he's phenomenal solo act too.
Yeah.
If you've never checked his stuff
out.
I
haven't. I haven't seen him solo.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing. These guys.
Artist.
these guys get these breaks too, like that. You know, like all of a sudden you're the lead singer of Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, just like that.
Ripper Owens, talking about Ripper Owens,
Yeah.
Judas Priest, for example.
Yeah, oh yeah. Look at that story.
Yeah.
What a story that is,
Yeah,
man.
that's incredible.
And now look at him. You know, he's still doing it, man.
Yes, he is.
We had Dougie Manross in here. He's the guitar player for Tim when he's in here, man. Yeah. That's great, man. Yeah. A local guy. That's a great story. I mean, Judas Priest isn't just a band from even a great band from America. They're the world. Yeah, right, that's like. So yeah, you're right. It's funny. Not many bands. Well, for a long time, very few bands could do it. AC/DC, Van Halen pulled it off. You know what I mean? You might, like a lot of people may not like one over the other or whatever, but you can't say they didn't pull it off. Van Halen definitely pulled it off, but it's tough to do. Now, what about you guys? Now, the future. I mean, you're talking about playing like 40 shows with Bad Juju, 50 shows with Bad Juju a year and stuff. That's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
What's a lot of shows for you? What you guys do? 20 a year, 30 a year? You guys in that ballpark?
We're like in the high teens right now.
So you guys like weekends, basically. You're doing some weekend gigs during the season, during the
next
busy
year.
Season.
I'm hoping to hit 30.
You guys are building this thing, huh?
Yeah,
you're looking to ramp it up.
Yeah, we're talking to people in other bands and try to kind of coattail off of them a little bit because, they have more of a reach as far as
So you're trying to get
areas concerned,
venues and stuff.
Venues, yeah. So anybody's looking for an opener.
So you're looking to go out of state even sometimes for this
we
thing
definitely
to
want to go out of state.
So you're just trying to find a band that you can like work with, so they could come here with you. You could go there with them, and you guys can kind of like do this thing.
The opportunity to go tri-state. I mean, that's
the goal is to go to Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Not Indiana. You guys are like no.
I would do Indiana.
Indiana's all right. You could.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Well, Kentucky's a good place to go because that's where all the bourbon comes from. So if you're going to go to Kentucky,
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good to me. Yeah. I mean,
I would try to play all my gigs there.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. That's cool. It's a great idea, and you're hearing more and more of that kind of thing going on. Like again, where bands are doing.
I'd have a guitar made out of a whiskey barrel.
Oh,
good idea.
Yeah.
That's something you could do while you're there.
It would look good and smell good.
Aha.
There's so many talented bands in Cleveland. I think our local scene is
insane.
Can compare it to anybody probably anywhere in the country.
We talk about it. We want to say that, but we just don't know we're not out there of seeing some of these other cities and stuff like that. Yeah. But you got to think this is one of the more talented cities. Some of these cover bands, like. It's funny, the cover band, original band thing. It's a funny conversation you could have with some of these musicians. They're really emotionally like tied to one or the other. Some of them, you know what I mean.
Okay.
But the cover band is very interesting because some of our very, very best musicians that we have, that's what they do. Like they're doing other people's music. I mean, some of the guys we get in here who are the best of the best. It's funny because they'll tell their story and they'll go. Yeah, that was back in the day when I was trying to be a rock star, and I was writing my own stuff, But if you're going to make money doing this, if you're going to actually have some kind of a maybe not a career, but a lucrative hobby, you got to do cover tunes, man. You really do. Unless you're some kind of a superstar, but you got to do cover tunes, I
just tell people I'm too old to worry about that stuff. I'd rather play stuff that actually goes over with people already know it. I mean, I have nothing but respect for those people, but to me, I'm not doing pay to play. I hate that.
No, not.
And a lot of times, the original acts, that's what happens to them.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, all too often that's what happens. Even if you want to do a show at a certain venue, and it's a damn shame because even Detroit, Cleveland or whatever, they're like, well, you sell this amount of tickets. Or you owe us this money, but we'll let you play on the stage.
Yeah, get exposure. I love that. Yeah, everybody will ask about that. So
no, I know what you're saying. It's
the pay to play is like, I'm sure it's debatable. I feel is destroyed the music, local music.
Yeah,
right.
Venues do that. I'm sorry, but
there is and it's not just that, but since the pandemic happened and since the music scene's really kind of like on its way back still. I mean, you want to say it's back, but it's like almost back,
Yeah.
Ever since that happened, you're starting to see the people come back, but there's still this thing. There's like a stigma here. Like the musicians here, we were just saying, some of the top notch musicians, but we're still like, we still need to see more people get into these venues. We need more people coming and seeing some of these bands. We need more people. I thought it would be automatic in a way with the way ticket prices are going.
Okay.
So like I thought ticket prices in general would kind of drive people more toward the local scene because it's way more affordable.
Yeah.
And I one thing I've known since I started doing this podcast and meeting all these bands and going out and seeing a lot of these local bands more than I used to, is just how much fun it is and how great they all are and how at the end of the night I don't know that I had less fun than when I go see anybody.
Yeah.
Anywhere. It's like I had the same amount of fun and I didn't spend a week's pay.
Yeah, if you
to have that fun.
Literally.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I think that's what, is slowly needs to come back and slowly. People just need to see what the hell we got here in this city.
Yeah.
It's one thing that we know because we're in it and we see it.
Yeah.
People got to get out there and see how good the bands are.
Oh,
man.
yeah, it's great to go out and see your local acts, or your local tribute acts without the headaches of the traffic jam and
yeah.
Yes.
18,000 people, elbow to elbow, and you're next to somebody that stinks. And
you're walking a couple miles to get to your seat.
Yeah, you got to walk 2 miles.
Well, and how many seats are actually good seats in those places?
Right.
Like we just did that concert with the Aletheia thing. No matter where you are in that place, I don't care. At Maple Grove, you could be anywhere at Maple Grove, and you have a great seat.
Mm-hmm. That's
you have
awesome,
a great seat. You're basically in the front row anywhere else, and it's. You don't cost nothing.
Yeah.
And now, is there a specific kind of person that comes out and sees you guys? Do you guys have like the diehard that sees all your shows so far? Have you guys seen familiar faces follow you guys around?
Other than wives, maybe. Yeah. She's not coming tonight, though.
No.
But,
I mean, is it like that? Have you guys picked up on that yet? Where you guys are starting to see these familiar faces, people who are coming to all the shows more, or have you seen it yet? I mean, it's going to happen. If you haven't, you will
see it yet.
It will.
But we were talking about getting recognized outside of the band spectrum, in a sense, and being recognized out in public is still kind of weird.
It does happen to you?
Yeah, it does happen. So we just went to the, who was it? Was it Berea's Rib Burn Off?
Yeah.
And my wife and I went to go watch 1988 and Bronx Country. And we sat down next to a guy that we met over in the Time Warp in Westlake, but we weren't playing that show.
Oh.
But he was like, "Hey, aren't you in the Alice in Chains tribute?" And I just look at him, I was like, "Seriously?" And he's like, "I remember talking to you." And I was like, "Yeah."
He still hasn't seen you?
He hasn't seen us
He
yet.
just met you
He's-
twice.
Yeah, he just met me from before because him and his buddies sat next to my wife. So, me being the miniature sales guy, I'm like, "Okay, here, have a card,"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I still got to see you guys." But yeah, it was cool. So like, he was my best buddy because he said, "Van Halen's my favorite band." I'm like, "All right, we're brothers now."
Yeah.
So then I show him my profile and he sees the Van Halen, the stripes underneath where my picture's at. And he's like, "Okay, cool."
Cool.
So yeah, it's kind of weird. And then I went and saw Rumors, Ohio, out at Cindy's in Medina, and
Great band.
two guys
Fleetwood
saw
Mac.
my wife, and they were like, "Hey, doesn't your husband play in the Alice in Chains tribute?" And she was like, "Yeah, he's sitting right over there." So then they finally came over after about a half an hour, and I talked to them, and it was like, "My brothers." So yeah, it's like we have a really awesome community.
It's growing though.
Yeah, it's starting to grow.
Because what happened with you guys is like you said, you started at 19. That's like the pandemic's now starting. And then so like the first 2 years basically of your guys' existence is in
it's
lockdown.
Stagnant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, just basically putting this thing together and making it so that when this thing is over, you guys will be able to come out and do this basically, right?
Yep.
So you guys really haven't, this really is only a couple of years really of traction.
Yes.
Yeah, we're still we're not preschoolers, but we're definitely elementary.
Yeah.
So it's working its way. So
I see what you did there. That's nice.
Yeah,
I
that's
see what you
very
did.
nice. Yeah.
All right, so shows coming up, man.
Oh, okay. Let me get my phone out. Here we
let's
go.
talk about what's happening.
All right. So in September the 16th, we'll be at the Iron Man out in Girard, Ohio.
Oh.
My dad grew up in McDonald, which is right there. So, and I went to Youngstown State, so
Oh.
familiar area. September the 29th, where we're going to be playing. I call it home base. It's the Doghouse.
Oh.
Right across from LCC out in Elyria. We're going to be doing some acoustic stuff, and then we're going to promote. We're going to be doing basically a Halloween costume bash the following month on the 28th of October out there with Eric. So
cool.
If you've never been out to the Doghouse, that guy's
fun night.
He's phenomenal. Yeah. And that place is awesome. So
sweet.
Little costume.
You said what, the 28th?
That's the 28th of October. We're going to be doing the costume Halloween bash, and he's going to be doing prizes and
contest, I think. And
yeah, I don't know if he's going to do like baskets and stuff like that. 50-50 raffle, best costumes. So I think we're going to be the judges.
Really?
And we'll MC it too. Yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah, it should be pretty sweet.
Sweet.
So that's the next 3 shows coming up.
And then next year, you guys said you're going to be adding a lot of shows. So like
next year,
for over the next year and a half or so, they can see a lot. There'll be a lot of Allison out there.
Yeah, I'd hope to hit up Pittsburgh for sure, or maybe Detroit.
Yeah, and then you guys will start going out of state.
I think so.
That's cool.
With the bands that we're talking to right now.
Yes.
That's definitely a possibility.
That's cool.
So.
And to find out where you guys are playing out and stuff, what's the best way to find out? Facebook?
Yes.
Facebook page? Allison, Ohio?
Allison, Ohio. Yep.
Okay.
Facebook.
Yeah.
For sure. Do we have what do we have? Twitter?
You got all the social media stuff?
Yeah, we have Twitter and Instagram, yeah. I don't do a lot of posting on there because it just gets, we don't have...
You're mostly Facebook?
Yeah, it's pretty much, I would say 90% of it's Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and I update everything as much as possible. I'm kind of our PR guy for now.
So it's always pretty much up to date, and if you want
everything
to find out,
everything will be
wants
up
to find anything out, that's where to go.
And we post like, for potential venues and tell them where we post. So, I mean, I flood Facebook with. There's probably about 14 or 15 Facebook groups that we jump on, and we'll just post there. So, and a lot of the other bands that we're friends with, if I see that they post somewhere that I haven't posted, I'll just throw that into the group and join that group. So.
Cool.
Hopefully the word's getting out.
We're networking, man. Networking.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about networking and making connections with other musicians, and
it does. It makes a difference, man. That's what makes a difference.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thanks, guys, for coming down. Appreciate it. We're out of time.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
man. We'll be keeping an eye out for you. You'll be seeing us. We'll be showing up.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Allison. That's Alice Sin, S-I-N,
yes.
if you're looking for him.
And
check it out with Allison, Ohio. If you're looking them up online, it's the best way to find you. All right, that's going to be it for us, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
That'll be fine.